people on Mart TV. I apologise for the rain sound off the roof. Hopefully it shouldn't affect the video too much. Okay, Blaser. This is my R8. I've had it 10 odd years and I really like it. Not the biggest company in the world, but they have a very big presence and an incredibly loyal customer base. Blaser's concept is it's all in-house. You buy the rifle, there's clothing, camo, sporting type, boots, hats, knives, cartridge holders, binoculars, ammunition, bipods, moderators, you name it, they do it. And the whole point is it's all brand loyalty. But Blaser, as they keep things in-house, wanted to make their own scope commensurate with the quality of their rifles. And they came up with a design they originally called the Artemis, which is now called the B1. The input was from people that worked at Blaser, plus the CEO there. And they are a little bit different. Nothing majorly special, but the B1, it comes in like a bronzy green finish, which is very nice, and it with a real European rail, it seems like organic to the rifle. It has a Qdc turret, and the weird thing about it is the windage is on the left, and the parallax and illumination is on the right. Also, it's a first focal plane, and it has the illumination control. There's three options. You get the 1 to 7 by 28, which is like your dangerous game, driven game scope, a 2.8 to 20 by 50, and a 4 to 20 by 58, which is what this is. It's a big fat objective, and it really does suck the light in. I've used these. We had an excellent day on the range with these. I remember speaking to one of the guys at Blaser when we went to the scope launch and said, well, you know, first of all, for this one, why is it just a European rail? Oh, it's just for Blasers, we think it's European rail is better. European rails are very strong, I do like them. I said, well, aren't you missing out? You know, why don't you make it a round body even if it's 34mm or 30mm? No, we want European rails. So well, fine, you know, it's your game. Yeah, I think I heard about the end of last year. They launched B2, and what you get is a 1 to 6 by 24, or say all with 30mm bodies, 12 by 50, and a 2.5 15 by 56, and they all also have illumination control. By the way, the B1s are first focal plane, and the B2s in second, which is probably more popular. But what I really like about the concept is 30mm body, universal mounting these days. So if you fancy an expensive scope, you know, I've got Zeiss, I've got Strossi, I've got Schmidt and Benders, and they're all good. And maybe you don't want what they offer, to have the option of having a Blaser scope that you can put on any rifle you like, rather than just a European rail for your Blaser, I think is very smart marketing. So that's the brief story. Let's look at the scopes in more detail. So 30mm one-piece round body tube is common to everything, as is the saddle and also the turrets. Here we see elevation and windage. On this side is illumination. It pulls out and you rotate the drum to increase up and then down to decrease. The only slight difference is on the larger 56mm objective scope, because of the nature of the beast, it has a parallax control marked from up to 500 meters and infinity, combined with the illumination, but the turrets are identical. However, what I have here, which we'll look at in a later video, is Blaser's Qdc Turret, which replaces the standard top and links into this drum as you see it here, and gives you a single turn of elevation that you can mark. This is a blank drum on here that you can write on, but it comes with another 10 drums that are marked up. Blaser go on their website, they have a ballistic website for it, and it tells you what calibers do what, or if you're sensible, you'll shoot your calibers, chronograph them, and see what they actually do, and then you can pick the ring you need. So that's the only odd thing about it is windage on the left, but you get used to it, and once it's set, it's done. That's it basically. That's the rear eyepiece bell, nice thick rubber zoom ring, well marked. So this is the 50mm objective. On here as well, but there's a flip up scope cap front and rear, and this one has a function that allows the illumination control to be used. So all the turrets are identical. I test them all out. All 1 centimeter clicks at 100 meters, and you get 88 on windage. And the drum is split 0 to 40 either way, as you can probably see. So you can easily apply the windage in which direction you need. Elevation, obviously, this goes up and down, and it's the same thing, T8 clicks, which is marked up to 80, and then you get 8 more. Light transmission's pretty good. They're quoting 90% nighttime, 94% daylight, which is pretty damn good. The illumination, say it's a pull-out one, and it's a modern design, and what it does, if the rifle barrel raises over a certain angle or down over a certain angle, it turns the illumination off. Likewise, if the rifle cants left or right, I think over 45 degrees, it turns it off, just saves battery life. So if you're in the high seat and the gun's laying flat on the shooting counter, you don't use battery power till you pick it up. And so all these models are what the Qdc Turret capable, which is quite good. I don't think you really need it on the smaller one, but certainly useful on the 2.5 to 56, and certainly I think on the 2 to 12 by 50. This is a 2 to 12 by 50, a conventional build, as we can see. I consider this a general use scope because this will pretty much take you anywhere you need to go with it. And because let's say 2 to 12, which means it's got a 6x zoom range on it, then it makes it quite versatile. You could probably shoot pigs with this running up close, and also with 12 reach out all the way. So it's not too large, not too heavy, and I think unless you want, if you just want the middle ground in the scopes, this is the one to pick. This is a 2.5 to 15 by 56, which is the big boy of the bunch, you can see, though it is actually shorter than the 2 to 12, as you can look up here, match them up, which is a little bit shorter. No real difference here, again, I said, apart from the fact you've got the parallax drum, which is really useful. You can see it in bloody focus, next to the illumination, and on top is the Qdc Turret. So this one's got a blank disc you can write on, but it pulls up and just rotates like so. Simple as that. When it's fitted, you just get just under 1 turn of elevation, which is pretty much what you might expect. All the scopes that offer this sort of turret setup do that as well. But if you want, say, you know, big objective, bit more magnification, then this is the one for you. I'm a bit of a fan of compact scopes, and the 1 to 6 by 24 certainly ticks a lot of boxes for me. So it's short and compact, 30mm body, 24mm objective, 1 to 6, so pretty much good enough for a lot of things. So as you see, there's only 3 in the range, but they've got you completely covered for whatever you want to do. Okay, so we looked at all these B2 scopes, I've shot them all. What do I think? Exceptionally well made and well presented. The range, in my opinion, pretty much covers everything you need. 1 to 6 by 24, 2 to 12 by 50, and 2.5 to 15 by 56. I'm going to push out further. I thought Blaser may have gone higher, as they did with the B1 range, as in a 20 power, but they didn't. Reticle 4A style, it's reasonably slim, and at 100 meters you have no problem placing your zeroing or just putting the bullet where it needs to go. The only thing I did find that I found the elevation and windage turrets on all models a little bit stiff to start using. Sometimes you'd think you'd stop moving, which you haven't had enough movement on it. And it's just a matter of, I think it's just wearing in, because the more I've used them and spun them backwards and forwards, they've started to ease up and feel a bit more just easy to use. What would I pick? I think, though I like the 1.6 very much, and I like sort of short range hunting, things like that, I've got 3 different sorts of scope at home with this, so I wouldn't pick one of these, though it is a good choice. The 2 to 12 by 50 I think is perhaps the best general use scope, but I do like the fact that the 2.5 to 15 by 56 gives you maximum mag, which can be useful for varminting and longer range shooting, plus you get a parallax control, which I do like on a scope. So it's a bit of a toss-up. I think if I was pushed, I'd go to the 2.5 to 15 by 56 as my choice. And obviously, I will get a Qdc turret with it. Let's say low light's pretty good, field of view is excellent. Up close with this baby on 1, you know, if game's right under your feet, you haven't got any problem getting onto it and shooting it. And equally at 6 at 100 meters, 200 meters, you've still got enough power. And one of the first deer I shot in the UK many years ago was a 1-4 by 24 Schmidt and Bender, and now it's just over 200 yards. I just put the cross where the bullet needed to go, and down the deer went. But I think this will be the least popular in the UK, and the big boy here, 2.5 to 15, has been the most, followed by the 2 to 12. But whatever it is, it's nice. 30mm round body tubes. I understand they also do a European rail for this as well. I don't think in the UK people are going to bother too much with that. It's a bold move. I imagine there's more stuff coming from Blaser, because they started making some binoculars, then said they weren't going to make scopes, and then they made scopes, and then they moved on. And I think they're just going to keep pushing forward, which is what the company's all about. Very aggressive marketing with high-spec, top-end products. They are quite good, and they're not different, but if you want an alternate brand to the big European names that have all the quality of the big European names, then I suggest you look at the Blaser B2 scope range, because they do have something to offer. That's Pete Moore signing off and saying, as usual, if you like it, tell me about it, tell your friends, support the website, and it's, want to speak to me, pmore.shootingsports@gmail.com. Okay, good shooting.